Hello, and welcome to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing on global geopolitics. Today is Monday, 9 September. I'm your host Daniel, the founder of HM Intelligence, and every weekday we bring you not just the news, but the so what from the events and decisions that shape our world. So grab a coffee and get ready to be informed. In today's update, we'll be covering several killed in airstrikes in Syria. The US Republicans blast Biden over the Afghanistan withdrawal, and Germany blames the Russian GRU for EU and NATO cyberattacks. So firstly, Syrian state media has reported significant casualties from Israel's airstrikes in central Hama province, which occurred overnight. According to the official Syrian Arab news agency, the strikes around Massouf resulted in 14 fatalities and 43 injuries, with 6 people in critical condition. The report highlighted the strikes as an act of aggression by Israel. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, an independent war monitor, provided a slightly different account, citing the death toll at 18, including 8 Syrian fighters. They reported over 30 individuals were injured due to the intense Israeli airstrikes. Historically, Israel military action in Syria has targeted the Syrian army positions and groups backed by Iran, such as Hezbollah, emphasizing the ongoing geopolitical tensions in the region. So what? It will be interesting to see if Israel confirms the strikes, and if so, what they were targeting. It seems likely, as Iran continues to threaten Israel with a response for the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, that Israel may have been targeting positions used by the IRGC or Hezbollah in Syria. While Iran is still saying that they will strike back against Israel, it is possible that Israel's proactive attacks, such as this, are limiting Iran's ability to amass the required weaponry for an adequate response. And next, the Republican report on the Afghanistan withdrawal sharply criticized President Joe Biden's handling of the troop pullout in 2021. Authored by the House Foreign Affairs Committee Republicans, the report suggests that Biden's decision led to chaotic scenes in Afghanistan, particularly highlighting the death of 13 US service members during a suicide bombing at Kabul airport, and the swift recapture of Kabul by the Taliban. The report accused Biden of not adequately considering the likely repercussions of the withdrawal. The report also criticized Biden for not adhering to the conditions of the Doha Agreement, initiated by former President Donald Trump, which set the groundwork for the US withdrawal. Republicans argue that Biden pushed forward without holding the Taliban to the deal's stipulations or ensuring a ceasefire with the Afghan government. They claimed that the decision reflected Biden's long-standing belief that the US should exit Afghanistan regardless of the security situation or advice from the national security advisors and allies. The report further contends that the withdrawal damaged America's credibility internationally, increased threats to US homeland security, and emboldened global adversaries. So what? I don't think it takes a military analyst to see that the withdrawal from Afghanistan was terribly conducted. Interestingly, this report puts blame on the diplomatic leadership rather than the military leadership, indicating that it is likely they who made key decisions in the lead up to the withdrawal. Sadly, the withdrawal led to numerous deaths both within the US military and also within partner force and their family, something that could have been avoided if different choices had been made in the lead up to the withdrawal. And lastly, Germany's domestic intelligence agency has recently identified a cybercrime faction associated with the Russian military intelligence unit known as the GRU as the perpetrators behind a series of cyber attacks targeting NATO and EU nations. Collaborative efforts between German and US intelligence has led to the identification of Unit 29155, known by its alias Cadet Blizzard, or Ember Bear, which has been actively engaging in espionage, sabotage, and actions intended to damage the reputations since at least 2020. The agency also highlighted the involvement of this unit in deploying the Whispergate malware during attacks on Ukrainian infrastructure in January 2022, shortly before the Russian military invasion. Moreover, German intelligence expressed concerns over the extent of the unit's operations, which includes cyber intrusions into NATO networks and other European and North American states, as well as Latin America and Central Asia. This is the same GRU unit that is under suspicion for the 2018 poisoning of Sergei Skripal and his daughter in the United Kingdom, pointing to a pattern of international clandestine activity. So what? Though it's generally accepted as par for the course at this point, it is notable to see the Germans blaming this specific unit. It is likely that these public accusations have a significant amount of evidence relating to the attacks and want to both reassure the German public and to make it clear to Russia that they are tracking their operations. However, it is unlikely that Germany can do much outside conducting their own cyber operations and increasing cybersecurity within their nation. Thank you for listening to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing on global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. If you want to support the podcast, tell your friends to help them stay informed, or leave us a 5-star review. And if you want to learn more about intelligence, why not take one of our courses? They're all online, self-paced, and affordable. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you next time.